Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're all having an awesome day. So this is the part 2 to my JavaScript experience video that I made a little while back. It's been a little while since I sent an update out, and for anybody new to the developer community, I just wanted to do my part and contribute, giving a little piece of my experience and what it was like for me. So I'm still doing the boot camp, the 2020 Web Development Bootcamp by Angela Yu, as well as going to school for computer science. So I'm just going to share a little bit about my experience with JavaScript and what it's been like learning it, a little bit of Node.js, working on my portfolio, getting better at Git, GitHub, version control, and so on and so forth. So in my learning, we actually went over jQuery. Now, when I first started JavaScript, it was really confusing, really hard to grasp the concept of creating functions, writing for loops, while loops. I've been told that you don't really use while loops in the wild, but I'm not sure. So, as a junior guy entering the community and the industry, I'm not really sure how relevant the while loops are, but I'm pretty sure for loops, if else statements, they're pretty common. So for me, when I was learning jQuery, it really just leveled down the intensity of learning a programming language. So for instance, right now I'm in Intro to Programming in college, one of my elective classes, and that is in Python. So I'm actually really excited about learning Python, not to get too off topic, but where JavaScript and jQuery helped me break down identifying variables, identifying constants, giving them values, so on and so forth. So in my experience, I found that jQuery made it a lot easier to learn JavaScript. So, you work on JavaScript a little bit, and then once you get into jQuery, it's a little bit easier to understand DOM, document object manipulation and stuff like that. So in learning, we learned, that was finishing off with the JavaScript portion. Then we moved on to Node. So Node.js, and that was pretty interesting. So I actually, in learning Node.js, deployed a couple of apps, simple stuff, calculators, weather apps. One of the things that I did get to deploy was a newsletter. So a newsletter sign up, So I was able to deploy a newsletter sign up on Heroku using the MailChimp API, which was really fun. It was really fun to get to use those technologies. One thing I will say, when using Node.js, I think, and it was said in the course too, you learn about Express and body parser and what those elements from NPM do when you're programming in Node. So I think it's really important to utilize Express and body parser, and I think you kind of have to. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's standard, but don't quote me on that. But it was good to learn to see what they do. Now the app is deployed and it's live right now, and that's actually really exciting. And I think the free API from MailChimp lets you get up to 500 email subscribers, so you can actually send a mass email. You could use that for your portfolio project, or if you're going to make something on your own, maybe for a small business, that would be cool. So I'm actually going to put my portfolio in the description of the video. So if any of you guys want to check it out, right now it is a static site. I do plan to deploy it with Heroku or Firebase and by my own domain. But in time, as right now, I am applying with it to junior developer roles. I've communicated with some recruiters, and I'm working on getting into the industry right now and transitioning. So I might make a little video coming right after this, just showing my portfolio and how I designed and laid it out and developed it. just for contribution to the dev community. I think that would be cool. Also, if you like this kind of content and you want to support my channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Commenting helps the algorithm. So if you leave a comment, say, hey, good job, whatever, that helps the algorithm. So this can get out and other junior developers, senior developers can see it. I think this is good content, and I think it's our job to contribute to the community. So for me, Node was pretty straightforward. It was pretty straightforward. Like JavaScript is confusing, like vanilla JS is confusing in a sense where it's just intense concepts to learn. Like creating functions, passing functions, the parameters. That was a little confusing. And I'm not a total genius on it at the moment. I'm not an expert, so I'm still learning. But in time, it takes practice. Practice makes perfect, right? So, but Node was pretty straightforward. So app.get, app.send, or res.send, the app.get, rec.res, app.send, so on and so forth, to the path that you're going to send file. I think it's important to, when you're learning Node, I think it's really important. First of all, I think when you're learning programming, I think it's really important to take notes. I didn't start doing this until I got into jQuery, which was my mistake from the beginning. But taking notes really helps with memorization of the simple things, and then utilizing keywords. So, like I was saying before, get, listen, send, function, if else statements. I think it's really important to remember those so that you can Google them or look at the documentation on MDN, and you can reference those files. So when you forget how to do something, you can come back and look at the documentation. It makes it a lot easier. If you're trying to do something from scratch, just to back up a little bit, I don't think I said this, but I think it's standard in Node. I just remembered. I think it's standard in Node to kind of have like a boilerplate for Node. I think it'll make it so much easier. You could make your own, or there might be one on VS Code on one of the add-ons or plugins. I'll have to check that out. If you know of something like that, please put it in the description. That would be great. Also, I didn't write this in my notes, but if anybody knows, okay, so the course that I'm taking right now, it uses NodeMon, and I cannot get it to work. I've looked at documentation, I cannot get it to work. If there's anything else like NodeMon that would keep your server consistently pulling the updates, something like that, so when you're working on a project, you can see what it's doing in real time. If you know of anything, if you recommend anything, that would be great. You could put that in the description, and I think that would be awesome. In this last little piece of work that this section of work that I've been doing, I've been getting better at the command line. And the last thing I want to say before logging off is that when you learn the command line, take notes on those commands, utilize those commands, and I think it's better to, honestly, I think it's more efficient to utilize the command line as a primary. It's so much, I just feel like it's so much faster. You use the command line, you're going to be pushing to your repository, whether it's local or remote, and then also it's just so fast to you can just make all these files with one line of code, and it makes so much more sense to me when trying to be efficient and save time. That's all I got today. I wanted to give an update. It's been a while since I made a video, and I'd like to be more consistent, but as you know, work, school, learning to code, it can be very encumbersome. So to all you guys who are watching, thank you. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will put my portfolio link in the description. If anybody wants to send me an email, it's on the portfolio. So you can give me some pointers or heads up. Hey, there, you got this bug in there. That portfolio consists of some of the projects that I made during the course. So I will also put the course in the description if you are interested. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time.